Hello everyone, welcome to my session of mucoadhesive drug delivery system. So, we are going to discuss about mucoadhesive drug delivery system formulation considerations in this lecture. So, basically sometimes as I have told you what are the benefits of mucoadhesive drug delivery systems, and it adheres to the mucosal membrane and release the drug in prolonged manner. So, now we will discuss about the formulation considerations of mucoadhesive drug delivery system. So, the MDDS or mucoadhesive drug delivery systems proved to be an effective delivery system to extend some cases. So, while designing MDDS, following categories of materials to be considered like mucoadhesive polymers, penetration enhancers and enzyme inhibitors. So, all these category plays an important role while designing MDDS. So, now we will see what next. First of all, mucoadhesive polymers and mucoadhesive drug delivery system. What are the significances of polymers in designing mucoadhesive drug delivery system? What are the various criteria of selecting polymers for MDDS? So, the polymer hydration and consecutively mucus cohesive properties promote mucoadhesion. The main role of adhesion on mucosal layer or membrane is provided by the polymer you choose for MDDS. Next, swelling should favor polymer chain flexibility and interpenetration between polymer and mucin chains, right. Highly cross-linked polymers swell in presence of water and retain their structures. Mucoadhesion is optimum at low pH conditions. High viscosity in spatial conformation, polymer flexibility promotes the interpenetration of the polymer within the mucous network. Chain length of polymer must be long enough to promote the interpretation and should not be too long, as it creates problem in diffusion. All these criteria belong to the ideal characteristics of polymer selected for mucoadhesive drug delivery system. So, I will tell you one by one and give its details, right. The polymer hydration and consequently mucus cohesive promotes mucoadhesion, right. As I have told you in previous lecture that there are two stages of mucoadhesion, one is your contact stage and one other is your consolidation stage. So, in contact stage and consolidation stage, the polymer interacted with the mucous membrane and bind it very firmly late in consolidation state respectively. So, this is the role of polymer in mucoadhesion. Now, polymer hydration is very important while adhering to the mucous membrane. If no hydration is there, then no swelling will occur and then no interaction or bond making will occur in that case. So, hydration, or we can say environmental and presence of moisture within the body or mucous membrane will promote the mucoadhesion process in this way. So, swelling should favor if the dosage form once it is hydrated and then it is followed by the swelling, it will stick to the mucous membrane firmly. Now, highly cross-linked polymers swell in presence of water and retain their structure. So, this is the first condition, that polymer should not disrupt abruptly in the initial stages of contact and consolidation stages, right. Otherwise, it will burst out all the drug out of the dosage form, that it will not happen the drug release in prolonged manner. So, to prevent this, highly cross-linked polymers are preferred to make mucoadhesive drug delivery systems. So, highly cross-linked polymers basically swells well in the presence of water and stick to the mucous membrane well and release accordingly the drug. Mucoadhesion is optimum at low pH conditions. So, it is an additive factor to the mucoadhesive drug delivery system, that mucoadhesion increases as the pH when the pH is low. High viscosity and spatial conformation, when the consistency of the dosage form at the target site and the spatial conformation is there, then the mucoadhesion will increase. Polymer flexibility promotes the interpenetration of the polymer within the mucous network. Polymer should have the flexibility nature, otherwise it will break, or if it is rigid. While making mucoadhesive drug delivery system, we must ensure that polymer should provide proper flexibility to the dosage form, so that the dosage form can fixed well in the area of adhesion. Now, chain length of polymer. As we are discussing about the characteristics of good polymer used for mucoadhesion, the chain length, the cross linking is the inbuilt nature of polymer, and we have to check all these criteria while selecting the polymer for mucoadhesive. So, the polymer chain length must be long enough to promote the interpenetration, and should not be too long, as it creates problem in diffusion. So, how your drug is absorbing through your mucous membrane? It is by the diffusion process, as we have discussed in previous lectures. So, next again, the polymer you selected for MDDS should be non-toxic, non-absorbable from GIT, as it is targeted or site targeted drug delivery system. So, it should not be absorbed from GIT, it should be targeted release of drug. It should be non-toxic, it must be inert basically. So, it should not have any impact on the drug performance while giving as MDDS. So, must have good spreadability, wetting, swelling and biodegradable properties. As you see the last slide, what I have discussed, the hydration, swelling and everything should be there with polymer to make the drug release proper within the body. So, here it should have good spreadability, wetting, if no wetting is there, no swelling and hydration will occur. So, that is why it is mentioned wetting. Since swelling and biodegradable, that means you are administrating a drug through MDDS, and it will not be recovered from the system, it will utilized or biodegradably eliminated from the body. It is known as biodegradable properties, right. Optimum molecular weight, non-irritant, optimum molecular weight, the chain length depends on all these things. Non-irritant to mucous membrane, it should be non-irritant and it adheres to the mucous membrane well. So, it should not irritate the mucosa of any part of the body. As we have discussed variety types of this MDDS, buccal, vaginal, rectal. So, we are talking about all types of mucosal layer present in different parts of the body. Form a strong non-covalent bond with mucin epithelial cell surface. So, if adhesion is there, then it is making some sort of bonds with the mucous membrane. So, here it is written, it should form a strong non-covalent bond with mucin or epithelial cell surface, otherwise no adhesion will occur. Must have wetting and swelling properties, must be biodegradable in the biological system. So, all these properties must have by a polymer if you are making mucoadhesive drug delivery system. Now, move on to next slide. So, in this picture you can see the whole chart I have mentioned, like this is based on the source, based on aqueous solubility and based off generation. So, I have broadly classified these polymer in a flow chart based on source, based on aqueous solubility and based on generations. Now, based on source are further subdivided in 3 parts, like natural, semi-natural, synthetic cellulose derivative, synthetic polyacrylic based derivatives, right. And natural examples are agarose, chitosan, gelatin. So, these are natural polymers can be used as mucoadhesive drug delivery system, mucoadhesive polymers in MDDS. Now, talking about synthetic polymers, examples are CMC, HPMC, carboxymethyl cellulose, hydroxy, HPMC, HEC, MC methyl cellulose, EC ethyl cellulose. So, these are different synthetic polymers we have for MDDS. Synthetic polyacrylic based polymers are carbopol, polyacrylates, all these category of acrylates or acrylic acids are considered in synthetic polyacrylate polymers. Now, move on to aqueous solubility criteria. So, we have two different categories, water soluble and water insoluble. So, in water soluble HPMC, PAA, sodium CMC, sodium alginates, all these polymers comes under water soluble category, whereas water insoluble represents chitosan polymer and EC and PC, ethyl cellulose. So, where various categories of polymers can be used for making mucoadhesive drug delivery systems. Now, move on to third category based on generation and development. We have sub 3 categories, first generation, second generation and third generation. First generation basically also further divided into anionic, cationic and non-anionic. So, in anionic CMC, PAA, PC, all these polymers considered as anionic polymers, whereas aminodextron, chitosan are considered as cationic polymers, whereas Utrecht poloxamers are considered as non-ionic polymers. And in second generation, 3 subcategories are there: lectins, thiolated and polyox WSR. So, these 3 categories contains in lectins glycoproteins are there, which represent the lectin category, and it binds reversibly to specific carbohydrate residues. During manufacturing, we have to consider variety of factors, then we can choose any of these polymers based on our purpose. Thiolated free thiol group helps in formation of disulfide bonds in the mucin. So, it helps in the interaction part. Now, we will talk about polyox WSR, high molecular weight polyethylene oxide polymers, homopolymers is the example of this category. Basically, these are non-toxic and biocompatible. Now, the novel polymers includes, or the third generation novel polymer includes a new class of hydrophilic pressure sensitive adhesives, PSA. These are the advancement in polymer category which represents the new class. Example, tomato lectins extracted or isolated from tomatoes, PVP, PEG and PAA. These are the new or advanced design techniques for mucoadhesion drug delivery system. Now, this is all about the polymer part. I have discussed in detail that the polymer plays an important criteria and it helps in mucoadhesion. If no mucoadhesion is there, then the making of all these mucoadhesive drug delivery system and the prolonged release and of drug will not happen. So, we have to choose our polymer as per the purpose of making mucoadhesive drug delivery system wisely. Now, move on to next category of the formulation is penetration enhancers. Penetration enhancers are basically important associated factor, I can say, to the mucoadhesive drug delivery system, as it facilitates drug to reach the systemic circulation and to exert its action. See, the polymer plays a role in adhesion process basically, but penetration enhancer make the drug to penetrate across the mucous membrane to reach systemic circulation, so that it can exert action, right. Once it is penetrate to the systemic across the membrane and reaches to the systemic circulation, then it will start to show its effect, drug basically. So, the penetration enhancers also have some qualities, like it must be non-toxic and have reversible effect, right. Polymers like chitosan and its derivatives are known to have mucoadhesive properties, right. Chitosan also supports paracellular transportation of drug across mucosa. So, these are the chitosans basically in one of the studies where variety of research have been developed for mucoadhesive drug delivery system, and chitosan is one of the polymer which can widely used for making these type of preparations. So, it supports the paracellular transportation of drug across the mucosa. Variety of penetration enhancers are listed here. First is benzalkonium chloride, dextran sulfate, fatty acids, propylene glycol, menthol, phosphatidylcholine, polysorbate 80 and sodium EDTA. So, this is the second part of mucoadhesive formulation factor. Now, we will discuss some research which highlights the penetration enhancers the researchers used in their study. So, first one system has been developed using insulin with penetration enhancer sodium glycolate, and they find the absorption only in presence of enhancer. That the drug absorption is taking place only when the penetration enhancer, namely sodium glycolate, is added to the formulation. So, these are the result observations. So, second is calcitonin, saponin, bile salts, sugar esters, SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, they all are penetration enhancers, and they all have been used in this study, and the results were found to be increased pharmacological effect of the drug within the system. Now, third is propranolol, basically methanol, lauric acid can were used to as penetration enhancer, and they found increased permeation through the mucosal membrane. Now, fourth is salicylic acid, penetration enhancer azone was used in the study, and it gives the increased permeation. Thyrotropin also used for the making mucoadhesive drug delivery system, and in which citric acid sodium 5 methoxysalicylate has been used as penetration enhancer, which results in increased absorption of the drug in the systemic circulation. So, now these all are the penetration enhancer aspects. Now, we will come to another category of enzyme inhibitors, EI. Basically, enzyme inhibitors improve the buccal absorption of drug, particularly high molecular weight molecules such as peptides, proteins and drugs as aprotinin, bestatin and puromycin, etc. So, these are the category which is utilized for high molecular weight compounds if you are making delivery system using these peptides and proteins. And bile salts, example of enzyme inhibitors, stabilize protein drugs by different mechanisms preventing the alteration of protein conformation. Basically, after adding these enzyme inhibitors, they prevent the drug from enzymatic effect, right. Chemical modification of chitosan with EDTA gave rise to a polymer conjugate, namely chitosan EDTA. It is also known as an potent inhibitor for metallopeptidase, also known as carboxypeptidase. So, here is the example of enzyme inhibitor utilized in the study. So, now we will talk about various factors affecting mucoadhesion, right. So, there are different factors while considering various formulation factors, then we have to consider the factors affecting mucoadhesion as well to increase the productivity of the process, right. First is molecular weight. Drugs with higher molecular weight, that means more than 10,000 or above, exhibits good mucoadhesive property. So, this is one of the factor. If drug is high in molecular weight, will give you the better mucoadhesion in the system. Flexibility. Mucoadhesion initiate with the diffusion of polymer chains in the interfacial regions. So, flexibility provides the better interaction of polymer on the dosage form within the with the mucous membrane. So, polymer chain must be long enough to support the flexibility and to provide the better interaction with the mucous membrane. Now, cross-link density, as I have told you in the ideal characteristics that polymer cross-linking plays an important role in mucoadhesion. So, here we again discuss about the cross-linking density of polymer affect the swelling, right. The highly cross-linked polymers can easily swell up within the system and retain for prolonged time on the target site. Hydrogen bonding capacity. So, mucoadhesive polymer must have functional group in order to form hydrogen bonds with the mucin and mucosa, right. So, mucosal membrane is made up of mucin and mucosa. Mucus basically. So, that is why it is mentioned here. Moreover, hydrogen bonding facilitates flexibility of the polymer. So, hydrogen bondings is important to make bonding with the in between the polymer and the mucin. Next is hydration. Wetting and swelling are two important parameters for mucoadhesion to occur. If this is not happening, so there is no use of making mucoadhesive drug delivery systems. So, it is important and it is basically allows a mechanical entanglement of polymer by exposing the bioadhesive sites for hydrogen bonding, electrostatic interaction between polymer and mucous network. So, next is concentration. Lower the concentration of polymer, lower the polymer interaction with mucin. That means, ultimately lower the mucoadhesion. The polymer concentration should be optimum to enhance the mucoadhesion in the mucoadhesive drug delivery system. Next is applied strength. Applied strength is very important while placing a mucoadhesive delivery system or device or formulation on the in the body parts. So, we have to apply the proper strength. For example, buccal patch, buccal mucoadhesive patch. When we put patch in the buccal mucosa, then we have to apply the proper patch to promote the adhesion or to promote the sticking of the dosage form to the target area to the buccal mucosa. So, that is why it is important. It is basically necessary to apply a defined strength to promote adhesion. Initial contact time. The mucoadhesive strength increases as the initial contact time increases, right. As the time passes, the interaction is firm, right. pH, low pH, high mucoadhesion. So, mucin production, the mucin production is expected to limit the resident time of the mucoadhesive on the mucal layers. If mucin is present, as psychological variations are there, physiological variations are there. So, mucin presence affect the mucoadhesion process of the MDDS. Disease conditions. Physiological properties of mucus change during disease states also affect the mucoadhesion process of MDDS. If normal physiological conditions are different and disease state may have different types of condition in the body. So, it may hamper the mucoadhesion process. Okay. So, Generally, it is believed that higher concentration of polymer would result in longer penetration chain length and better adhesion. So, it is believed that the higher concentration of polymer or optimum concentration of polymer results in better penetration and better adhesion, right. In some cases, higher concentration of the polymer do not necessarily improve the adhesion and may diminish mucoadhesive properties. In contrary to the above statement, some researchers have also shown that higher concentration of polymer in the formulation results in diminished mucoadhesive properties of the dosage form. Example, high concentration of polyvinyl pyrrolidine, that is PVP, in flexible polymeric films do not enhance the mucoadhesive property of the polymer. So, this is the example where the polymer is affecting the dosage form mucoadhesive properties badly. So, here are the references I have taken the data from, and what are the highlights of this session. Let me explain that we have discussed different formulation parameters and factors which consist of 3 categories of material used for making mucoadhesive drug delivery system. First is polymer, or we can say mucoadhesive polymers. Second category is permeation enhancers, and third is your enzyme inhibitors. All these categories should be chosen wisely while making different mucoadhesive drug delivery system. Next, we have discussed various factors affecting the mucoadhesive properties of the dosage form. It consists of the pH conditions of the part and molecular weight, cross linking efficiency of the polymer, and applied strength, the polymer molecular weight. So, these are different factors we have discussed in details, whereas in after this all these data we have said the concentration of polymer should be increased. No, in some cases it is not giving the proper results or appropriate results in mucoadhesive terms. As in the last, I would like to conclude that the polymer concentration should be chosen or should be taken in the optimum percentage or proportion, so that the mucoadhesive properties should not hamper. So, by this way we can conclude this session, and I would like to tell you that mucoadhesive drug delivery system nowadays is very important in drug designing. As novel drug delivery system it is considered now. So, various different parameters are also in research state now. So, variety of researches are conducting on the systems. So, with time variety of additions are there. So, I hope you understand the basics of this mucoadhesive formulation parameters, and will continuing this evaluation part of these mucoadhesive drug delivery system in the next session. Thank you for listening and stay safe.